Mortimer Toynbee, Toad. First appearance, X-Men number 4, March of 1964.
When you said Toad, then the name made sense. What the fuck is his name? Mortimer?
Toynbee.
And then Toynbee? But then you said Toad. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Toad is like Irish, isn't he?
Some kind of Britainer. Like someone from like Great Britain, from the United Kingdom, from the UK.
Yeah.
One of the
some
three.
European UK type shit.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, I cut you off from intro on the show.
But yeah, hey guys, y'all know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis, feogrande on YouTube, sometimes referred to as Pete on this show, and I am here joined as usual by my co-host and one of my best friends in the world, Superjaz.
As nature intended. I'm sorry. The way you said it almost sounded like you about to say like stew, and I was like, wait, this Superjaz?
Oh my god!
Some people have thought that I said one time definitely. Some people thought I said stupid jazz when I told my name.
God.
I was like, no,
stupid jazz.
No,
right.
Superjaz is already crazy enough.
Yeah.
I'm not about to fucking be stupid, Jazz. Anyway, yes, as you said, I'm the other host of the show, and I go by the name of Superjaz, Jazz, SJJT, whatever you want, what have you, and the like. And as you all have clicked on, as you all have seen, as he said, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where we do just that. We talk about whatever we want. We do not lead this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they may.
Every Wednesday. Yes, that's right. And it's Wednesday yet again, good sir. And, you know, we got random things we can talk about out in the world. Sure, I'm sure there was, like, something that happened last week with an election, although I didn't really pay that much attention to it. However, something I saw earlier today, as you see, I have on a St. Louis Battlehawks hat. I
didn't know what that was. I thought it was
the
a video
only
game
hat that I had nearby. It's St. Louis's XFL team, good sir, which is making a return next spring. And apparently they announced their quarterback earlier today. One AJ McCarron. Who is that? Good question. I asked the same thing. He played college for Alabama, you know, one of the big universities that always wins everything in college. He played quarterback there, and then in the NFL he was a career backup, playing for the Bengals, Bills, Falcons, and somebody else, but he was on like 4 different teams. And yeah, so who knows if he'll be good enough if he'll be good. I mean, it's the XFL. If players are in the XFL, there's a reason. So who knows how he does? They're not. They may be great, but they weren't good enough for the NFL.
That's what I figured we were getting at.
Yeah.
But I was like, me being Mr. Casual,
now, some people,
I ain't want to say it before you did.
Now, I am also, to be fair, I am also wearing a Panthers jersey, and I'd be remiss if I didn't point out the fact that the Panthers' current quarterback, who was a backup quarterback, was the starting quarterback, or P.J. Walker was the starting quarterback for the Houston Roughnecks in the 2020 version of the XFL, and the Houston Roughnecks were, I think, one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the league then. So he's a starter now in the NFL, mainly because the 2 quarterbacks in front of him got injured, and if they were healthy, they'd play the same anyway.
Is the XFL still doing the not real name but nickname on the jersey shit?
No, they didn't do that in 2020 either.
Good, because I remember,
wish they did. I actually like that about the XFL.
I was gonna say it was a nice idea, and it set it aside, like set them apart from the NFL and like other, other sports, because it was the only sport league that did that. Even Canadian football don't do that shit, right? But the only thing was that if you actually really wanted to know who the fuck that was, you can't really look them up, or it shows back in the fucking like height of the attitude era with wrestling. The reason why a fucking wrestling booker would have somebody like go by a stage name, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, it's like if you wanted to look up the people, it's like, gee, I don't know what his real name is, but I got the Crusher or whatever the fuck. Like, yeah,
He
I love
Hate
the
Me,
Crusher.
who, if I remember correctly,
Well, I was gonna
also
say
ended
he
up.
hate me. Everybody remember
I
like
think he
the only name
actually
you remember
ended
was he
up in
hate.
the NFL at one point as well.
The only name you remember is he hate me.
Yeah, there's another guy that actually went and was on the Steelers and did pretty good too. I forget his name though. Like he actually
Daniel.
went to the NFL and did pretty well. And He Hate Me actually went to the NFL, and while
Yeah.
he wasn't like a star, he was still decent. And I'm pretty sure he
Is
was on the Panthers.
Dwayne Johnson still backing it?
Yes, for now,
Okay.
to
I
my
know
knowledge.
he was going to back it like all these years later, and then right when he was going to do it, then the world went and decided to say everybody's life had to take a flip
No,
upside.
that wasn't Dwayne Johnson at that point. That was still Vince.
Oh, that was still Vince. That was still
Yeah,
Vince.
2020 was still Vince
Oh,
trying
okay.
to bring it back, and then it went under because of COVID.
Yeah.
And the Battle
And
Hawks
now,
were one of the better teams in that thing. Also, one of, if not the only stadium that actually was selling out. But St. Louis isn't a football town. Anyway, also,
where have we heard that before?
Also, some hockey player I saw on Twitter earlier today was talking about how he's happy he was never on the St. Louis Blues because St. Louis is the worst city in the country with the worst fans, and it was the first team he put on his "Do not trade me there" clause.
Jesus Christ, dude! God damn, fuck you! What?
Right?
My man got it in for STL. What did we do to you? You would think the entire city of St. Louis, not just one person. The way you said that, not just one person. You would think the entirety of the city of St. Louis called his mama bitch. Like, because what the fuck did we do to this man?
I don't know, but
Like,
I'm like, damn, fuck
like
you.
what did we do? Like, St. Louis was playing hide and seek with him, but we peaked. Like 10, 9. The fuck? Like, what did we do to this man to make him go that hard? What the fuck? We copied off his test in school, and then we got caught, and we told the teacher, "Well, he gave me the answers." Like, fuck. That's some hardcore shit. Like, I don't know what. And then, I mean, on top of that, casual sports fan, but who the fuck in St. Louis wasn't either watching or keeping up to date when the Blues were going for the Stanley Cup a few years ago? Like, come on.
I watched
Everybody,
it. The only hockey game I've watched was Game 7 of that series.
come on.
Or at least the only hockey game I've watched from start to finish.
I wasn't watching it, but I was keeping up to date, and I did. Even my fucking don't really watch sports ass felt a sense of like city-wide pride when that shit happened.
Well, yes, that's how it usually works with sports.
But we didn't feel it. We don't
Not
care.
to mention, I always, and me, the non-hockey fan, calm down, people. But I always referred to the Blues up to that point as the Cubs of hockey because I knew all the times they had made it to the Stanley Cup, but they never fucking won in like before I was like born. And I think they had only been like twice. The year they won recently, and the other time when they lost to Boston in the '60s. In a sweep, and Boston put the thing of their goalie making a save in a fucking sweep, so the save didn't even fucking matter.
He made a save in a series sweep. That is like when you first, because you've said that before some episodes back, and when you first told me that, I think I had the same reaction of like, bro, that's almost a middle finger to our city. What did our city do to people? Wait a minute,
Exist.
like because the hockey player. Who was the hockey player? The Boston making the fucking like
The
the statue for the
also
sweep.
hockey.
Right. And then fucking them saying that we're not a football town and straight leaving us just like on some fuck you shit. Like, what did we do? What did St. Louis do?
Nothing.
Every sports team is just like, fuck that damn.
If
What did we
someone's like,
do?
well, they don't deserve a new team because they lost the other one. Like, I'm sorry that we
That is the
decided to
dumbest
follow the
reason.
rule. I'm decided all that we did was offer to build them a new stadium and have the people like taxpayers do it, and then have them literally break the rules to leave. As proven by the fact that the city successfully sued them for it.
Which I thought was like, wow, that can really happen. And yes, that can really happen. So.
And the fact that the lawsuit was successful, so you know it was shady. That
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
it was
Right.
shady.
That's
It's
what I was
like,
saying. Like, I was like, can they really do that? And then the city of St. Louis and the law itself was like, yes, we can. Watch us. And I was like, motherfuckers really did that shit. That worked. The city can sue a sports team.
when the sports
Break that
team
down.
breaks
Like,
the rules of the contract, yes.
No, right. I did not know that was possible until
Yeah.
everything. I was like, wait, wait. So, and then, I'll be damn. Like, oh man, I don't know. Again, and this isn't some like fuck everybody who felt otherwise, because I could understand if maybe I was super more diehard with sports. Not talking about y'all for being that way, but if I was more super diehard with sports than I am like you, and shout out to Big Bro Ibn, then maybe I would have been more up in arms and upset. But I was kind of like, this is fucked up, but eh. But I could see if I was more diehard with it, then yeah. Because to me, it was just like, oh, well, you just gonna fucking leave the city on some fucking bullshit? Well, then fuck you, bitch. You know, fuck you and your little dog too. You know, like, you know, what the fuck. But I could understand just to some extent
And
being
you gotta
like,
think of how many people who are more diehard than myself spent tons of money on that team over all
yeah.
those years, only for them to be like, fans don't give a damn about this, we out.
My aunt, like one of my aunts, not even like aunt and uncle, but just one of my aunts. I'm pretty sure you've met her, the older one, but she super fucking Rams fan, and she would get tickets a lot of times, and she knows out of the two of us, Ibn was the fucking like fan.
Yeah.
Took him to so many games, man, and the two of them would have great time. Like out of everybody in the family, like not my mom, her sister, not any of her other sisters, not her husband, not me, but my brother and her would go to the fucking Rams games with her Rams jacket and shirt and his shirt or jersey or whatever the fuck. And they would go there several times and had great fucking times. So yeah, no, you're right. Some people definitely went to these games and spent money, had fucking amazing times and shit. I remember like for Christmas, definitely one year, but a few times because my mom can sew. She got some Rams pattern type stuff and made like she made a pillow for her one time. Looked all nice and stuff, like a nice little throw pillow she could put on the couch. She might still have it with the Rams like logos.
Nice.
Made her, I think, like a scarf one time. Made her a hat. So no, you're right. So, there's a lot of people in St. Louis that were very much fans, and there was definitely a long stretch where the greatest show on turf was not here no more, and the Rams weren't doing that good, and people were still like, "Come on, come on,
There
we
was a
believe."
13-year stretch where they didn't even make it to 500. For people who don't know what 500 means, it refers to like .500 or 50% win percentage.
Jesus Christ.
They didn't go 8-8 from like 2003 till after they left. They got 7-9 a bunch of times under Jeff Fisher.
That's pretty fucking bad. That's pretty bad.
Yep.
Fuck that.
Yep. Went 2-14 once. I know that much. That's what got us Sam Bradford.
Could you?
Uh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, could you imagine any other job? Not to downplay the severity or the toughness of pro sports and football, but any other job. Could you imagine if you said, damn, I got a cavity, and your dentist was like, well, I got a 50-50, success rate with filling these in. Sometimes I fill them in good. Sometimes I don't know. Bitch, I'm not letting you in my mouth like the fuck.
Exactly.
It's like,
And when they don't even have a 50% success rate.
man, I'd walk around with my mouth hurting and go to a root canal with a dentist talking about sometimes I get the right nerve, sometimes I get the wrong one. The fuck out of here with that shit. Because I had a root canal one time, and doctor showed me that. Oh, with doctor dentist, but he showed me the nerve after he like pulled it out. It was kind of funny. Well, I was curious about it though. He didn't necessarily have to show me. I didn't ask, but when he's like, "There's a nerve right there, if you want to see it," and I was like, "Okay." He had it like sitting on the like dental paper towel napkin shit, and he looked at it. It was like really, really, really thin, like string real thin, and it was about maybe that fucking big.
Damn.
And it's so funny. I don't know if you ever had. I'm pretty sure you had a cavity before.
Yes.
I doubt you had a root canal
No.
or like needed to get a root canal. But basically, you need a root canal when you have a cavity that you let get too far going,
Yeah.
and then it just gets worse and worse and worse. Because the cavity is my tooth chipped away, so I need to get it filled in to protect the nerve from more, sugar and bacteria and shit, fucking with it. So if you don't do that and you let that small little pain that goes away and comes back and goes away and comes back, you let that small pain get to a huge pain and never go away, the whole fucking side of my face was fucking hurting. And I needed to have the doctor fucking drill into my tooth and not fill it in with silver, but drill into my tooth and fucking take out the nerve because the nerve is so badly damaged that you can't do anything except sever it. And then they fill it back in with a fake tooth. Yeah, it was bad. It was the only time I ever remember being in the dental office and waiting for the shot in my mouth. Any other time, it's like, oh no, I get a shot. I remember sitting there with my mouth just like waiting for him to call me just so I was like, the needle, yay! Fuck. Oh man. I mean, how many cavities have you had though?
One.
Probably not too many. Oh shit.
I probably have had more, but I've had one that's been filled in. I was in high school.
Okay.
I've probably had more, but I've had one filled in.
I got a serious fucking sweet tooth.
Same.
Maybe I don't brush my teeth good or or good.
Well, you've also been to the dentist more recently than I have.
Well, yeah. Like I had to call off work, but for my last job, I had to get 2 teeth.
Luckily, I haven't had anything get that drastic pain wise. That said,
it right. It can get to a point, man, where somebody could be it can almost get to a point where somebody could be asking you if you want free money, and you damn near don't even care what they're saying because that pain is so like just nagging and consistent. It can really almost get to that point. Like, sexy woman could just walk in your room, just like fucking get naked and be like, yo, you'd be like, whatever. Like, because it's so bad sometimes, dude. Like, yeah. It's one of them things where the biggest, toughest motherfucker in the world, tooth pain is going to bring him to his knees. Facts. Yeah. I don't know. I keep saying I ain't gonna let some shit like get out of hand again, but I feel like I'm slowly starting to, because the problem is I don't have dental insurance. And one, I don't have dental insurance. So, and dentist is fucking expensive. And then 2, going to the fucking dentist is just like, almost on some like, I'm not afraid, but almost on some phobia shit. Like,
yeah. Especially if you ain't been in a while and you're like, oh, what are they gonna be doing to me today?
You know, fucking inject me in my face, pull my teeth, drill into my teeth. I think they told me last time I went to the dentist. This is how much my, like I said, I got a sweet tooth and maybe I don't take care of my teeth enough. But um they said something like I need $16,000 worth of fucking like dental work done ultimately in my face. Some shit like that. At least maybe not 16, but at least a few thousand. Like it was in the thousands for everything I needed done to make my mouth 100%.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's too fucking much.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, that's the reason why people don't go to the dentist. And then I think most dental insurance, you gotta like pay on it for a year
Really?
before you. I think I could be wrong, or if not a year, you gotta pay on it for like 6 months or some shit before. Like I think that I could be wrong with this, but I think you have to pay on insurance for 6 months before you get to reap the benefits that it gives.
Huh.
Could be wrong.
Interesting. I was unaware of that.
Yeah. Because I mean, you know, who wouldn't say let me pay 50, let me pay $100 a month and then get up to $500 worth of shit right away, and then oh shit, let me cancel, you know, because I paid for it in time for my visit. I don't need it no more. I think you got to pay for it for a minute and then you can get it. Uh, what was I gonna ask you? I was gonna ask you. Well, no, okay. Okay? You said you ain't been to the dentist in years and years and years. Last time you went, you had a cavity. So, do you think you have not like phobia, but like a kind of fear of going back?
Oh, lack of dental insurance didn't help.
Fuck no.
And not a fear, but there is a thing where I'm like, I might need to get my wisdom teeth taken out if I go back.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, and some other stuff. Just like there's a lot of pain. Do I have to however much time off where I'm just gonna be hurting 24/7?
You got any like pain right now?
Not too much. There's something I know definitely needs to be checked out.
Mm-hmm.
Without going into too much detail, but yeah.
No.
So I
I
need
did.
to go to the dentist,
I
but
got you.
I don't have like root canal pain.
That shit. I'm telling you, that shit is fucking debilitating. Like it really is. Like we'd be on this podcast and you'd be talking to me and you'd be fucking talking to your goddamn self. This shit is bad. You'd think I would learn, but sugar's still good.
It's food for your brain.
What, sugar?
Yeah,
How?
glucose.
That sounds like an excuse that somebody who's addicted to
No,
sugar.
no. Look, here's the thing. It's good for your brain. It's not good for anything else in you. But your brain also doesn't give a fuck. That's why it gets very addicted to sugar.
When you say, but you don't mean food with your brain like, I ate sugar and now I'm going to ace my test. You mean like that?
No, I mean your brain feeds off of glucose and doesn't care how it gets its fucking glucose. If it's gotta sit there and liquefy your fucking muscles, it'll fucking do it. It's getting its glucose. And that's what I'm saying. It's not good for the rest of you, but your brain doesn't care. Your brain wants its fucking glucose. Feed your brain.
Ain't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
How we will disregard our mouth, we will disregard like you said, our muscles will disregard gaining weight because it's just like our brain. We know we shouldn't be doing none of that, but like you said, the brain is like, no, bitch,
This is
that shit was sweet, wasn't it? So eat another one, goddamn. Oh man, everything in the world that is bad. Not everything, obviously, but a lot of shit in the world that's bad for you is just
enticing.
amazing.
Yeah?
Oh
I
man.
remember there was a time I theorized when I was younger that we are already dead and in hell.
You're not the only one who's I've heard that before. I
And that
never
was
heard
one of my key points in there. Was everything that, we enjoy hurts us and kills us. We got to trade it for that. That was one of the things. Obviously, I grew out of that phase. But imagine if I was that age and it was in the year 2022. Boy, would I think that real life was hell.
Oh, because what happened 2 years
Yeah,
ago?
I'd have a lot more evidence for my case. For the
Man,
past, what happened 2 years ago, 1 year ago, this year, it's just 2020 hasn't ended yet. We're in 2020 part 3.
you said that before. Oh man. No, I never knew that you had that philosophy at one point, but I've definitely heard the philosophy that we are already dead, like you said, already dead in hell, and we just don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, I have had the philosophy before, and at times still somewhat pondered that what if everything that is happening right now to me is actually not real and it's just some shit that I've made up in my brain.
Oh yeah.
And the entirety of my life is not, it's my life, but nobody else's life exists outside of my life. And I just conjure up these things for me to go through.
You Fight Club yourself.
Well, I mean, I'm not about to whoop my ass, shoot myself in the mouth,
But more just
try to.
oh yes, I know all these people. Don't really know nobody.
Right.
I've had thoughts like that before. I'm like, yeah, I go hang with my friends on Friday. Like, what if I just go to a place, sit in a room, and just imagine that I've got 4 other people in the room with me, and just oh, you're crazy. But Omari, you play a lot of 2-player games. Clearly, there's got to be somebody else in the room with you, and you lose a lot. Are you just sitting there staring salty and you
And
lose to
lose a lot.
yourself? Are you beating yourself in the game and then getting mad at the fact that you lost? You're getting mad that you lost.
What the fuck?
Like that would be what it would have to be, you know what I mean? So clearly that's not the case. But I've also had the Truman Show complex
I
at
remember
one
you talking
point.
about that when it came out. I do remember you talking about that when that came out.
All those kind of complexes of my life ain't my life.
But like I said, I've definitely thought of what if, what if me talking to you right now for Skype, I mean, not Skype, for Zoom, for YouTube, is actually not really happening.
You're just recording something at your computer.
Well, no. Like all of this is in my brain and being imagined. So I'm not sitting at my computer. My computer's not here. I am somewhere that I don't know that I am right now. And in my brain, I have imagined this entirety of this world
What
with
if
me.
this is the dream, and when we sleep, we're actually waking up?
What is that from? I heard that.
It's I don't know. It's easy.
I've heard that from
It's easy. It's I'm not doubting that one bit, because that sounds like some textbook stoner talk. Yo, what if we're asleep right now, and when we sleep, that's when we're waking up, bro.
Hey, man. Hey. That's some crazy shit, man.
Right? But it's deep
But like,
though.
but like, but like, what if when you talk,
Yeah.
you don't talk, but you speak?
Fuck man, same fucking word.
Because you haven't noticed how sometimes people they say, yeah, I hear you, but they don't hear you. They hear you, but they don't hear you, man. They don't hear
Cause
you,
they
man.
ain't lit, man. That's bars, yo. That's
Man.
they hear you, but they don't hear you. They listening, but they don't hear you.
Fuck, man.
Got you. No comprende. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Speaking
that's
Spanish and shit.
I would write it down, but
Escribir.
I'm not even gonna write it down because you know what? Fuck that notepad. I'm gonna remember that shit.
Fuck the notepad.
Yeah.
Fuck the notepad. I'm the nomad.
Keep going.
I thought I had something else. I thought I had something else. I was like, fuck the notepad. I'm the go mad. I done fucked it up already. Damn, I could have said I'm a go mad and then something else. Anyway.
Fuck the notepad. I'm the notepad. Nomad. I'm a go mad. You swing it from my gonads. Oh shit, I'm a go bad. Like Walter White.
Gonads.
And it's all through Skype or maybe Zoom from my bedroom. So you didn't know that this world would be your tomb. But we might already be dead and in hell. Oh well, I guess you might have to get conjured up in another spell. So let me tell you a tale about how I don't smell, because you didn't even smell me or hear me or fear me. But you might try to get near me.
And endear
except
me.
Except the Rams. Because they said, oh shit, I'm a scram. They didn't want to be fam. I was like, well, shit, that ain't my jam? Damn.
What the hell?
I can halfway freestyle.
Yeah. Hey, you better freestyling than me. Oh, I still love that from high school. Just whenever I would whenever high school, when I was younger, whenever I would freestyle, I had a go-to. Whenever I start, you could tell I stopped thinking of new shit to say for my freestyle, because it would always
had like pre-thought shit.
It would always divulge into just violence and mad. Rapping about stuff we used to have a television studio, and I might have told this on the show too. Okay. But I'm sitting there and we're recording some stuff after school because the school, like I said, had a studio class, so you could learn some of the stuff with stuff. But there was a recording booth, and we were sitting around. My friends who were way more musically talented than myself, I've mentioned one of them on this show numerous times and shouted him out. Yeah, he was there recording some music. I'm sitting there with pretty sure Bob the Tomato was there as well. That was part of the usual crew that was in there, the usual cast of characters from my high school stories, if you will.
Shout out to Larry. Shout out to Tom Cruise. Not the real Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. I'm gonna call him Tom Cruise. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, so we're sitting there recording, and then we're just like, for whatever reason, the lack of a better term, or the running gag of the night was so and so step up to the mic, and they had like a little brief cool for lack of a better term, I'll say sample of music that like
a beat
Niz was playing. And yeah, kind of like a beat, but he was playing it like live, and he just found like a cool little rhythm to play a beat. But it got to a point where they had me get up on the mic, and I'm like, you know me, I'm not the best freestyler. I can't do it. I don't want to do it, guys. Okay, fine.
And then you start doing it. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just hit my ankle on the wheel of my chair. Which is something I probably also said in that moment, knowing me.
Right in the middle of the day, the story's like, okay. Are you okay? It's like, okay. Are you okay?
Buster Wolf. But no, I was just like, okay, fine. And I started rapping about something or other. It was a freestyle. I don't remember all the words, but I know at one point I just went on a tangent. I said, "Then you go die. That's right. I'm gonna say die. Don't ask me why. I'm crazy. So get out my face." And I grabbed a plastic hammer. Not hammer. hanger. I grab a plastic hanger and I'm like, before I beat you. And I realize this is being recorded and people outside the studio can hear me. So I'm like, I probably shouldn't say ass out loud. So I censored myself. So I'm like, before I beat you. And then when I opened my eyes, the fucking plastic hanger had broken. Like,
you got into it so hard you closed your fucking eyes.
When I said beat you, I was hitting the hanger on a chair. So I'm like, beat you.
Close your eyes.
And like, I told you. I ran out of ideas and I just violence. That's my gimmick. I'm angry and violent. Just go to that. That'll make people laugh. Did that. And teacher comes in because obviously like, wait, what the hell's going on here? And I'm like, yeah, I need to stop, right? And then we're like, hey yo, and then this is just like, hey yo, teacher, step up to the mic.
Oh, like he didn't even break his stride, like nothing had happened.
Just like we laughed, and then eventually he's just like, hey, and then teacher gets on there, and he's like,
shit. Okay, teacher joined in.
I'm an old man, and I don't know how to do any of this. And if you come any closer, I'll give you a kiss with my fist, and then my foot, and then my boot, which is sometimes attached to my foot. Like when he said, and then my boot, which is sometimes attached to my foot, I don't even remember the rest of it because I was too busy laughing. With my fist, and then my foot, and then my boot, which is sometimes attached to my foot.
The fact that was over 10 years ago and you still remember it.
Oh yeah, that was like damn near half my lifetime ago. Actually, yeah, half my lifetime ago.
But the fact that you still remember, that's dope, man.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Like just with my fist. Because I think we all like had the similar thing, like, come any closer, I'll give you a kiss. And he had that long pause, and it was just like, what the fuck? With my fist, and then my foot, and then my boot, which is sometimes attached to my foot. I'll stick my boot where it doesn't belong or something like that. It's just like, okay, he went violent. Now that I think about it, he went to violence too when he ran out of something. He went, come closer, I'll give you a kiss. With my fist, and then my foot, and then my boot.
He didn't fuck around and close his eyes and get lost in the moment.
He's a grown-ass man. You know how scary that would have been?
And he was the teacher around.
Yeah.
Like, hey, yo. Freestyle session's over for now.
But no, he also was one of those, like, middle-aged older white dudes that like to poke fun at the fact that they were a middle-aged older white dude and thus not hip. Like whenever like music's playing and people are dancing, he'd like purposely try to snap off rhythm, and you could see him like trying to be off rhythm, and I'm like, okay, you're going out of your way to be like, I'm a middle-aged white guy, I don't have rhythm. And that's not me saying white people don't, I'm saying that is a stereotype that I've seen middle-aged white guys try to reinforce as a joke.
Touché. But no, that's some funny shit. Because like I have definitely had with some of the shows that I've done as far as like plays. And I remember the last, like, you know, film project my friend had that I was part of. Like, I can kind of beatbox too, and of course I rap, and then you know my little freestyle that I, you know, halfway do whatever. So I start rapping, and then you know in between like rehearsals or in between takes, you know I would start beatboxing and then try to get everybody around to be like, come on y'all, and then try to get everybody to do it. Just a little fun shit to pass the time. It was fun. It was fun. And then eventually try to get everybody to do it, from the black dudes around my age to the black women around my age to the black men or women older than me to the white people to the middle-aged white guys. And everybody step up and just say some shit. And you know, it's like, man, because the whole point was it don't matter if the shit is corny.
Yeah.
Just have fucking fun, goddammit.
Yeah, see, and that's something that it took to adulthood for me to do more often is not care about how stupid something looks. In fact, I started leaning into it more as I got older. Like, oh, okay, I'm the funny guy. Yuck.
I feel you on that.
But it's one of those things because I've always, oh no, an artist cares too much about what other people think about him. But yes, that is definitely a problem that I always had growing up and probably will never fully get away from if I'm just being honest. But I've come a long way. Clearly, I'm doing now 2 weekly podcasts as well as constantly streaming.
Right.
So I'm definitely comfortable with putting myself out there and saying all kinds of random shit about myself for people to pull up 10 years later and be like, oh yeah, you think you all grown and mature? Well, here's this thing from 2020 where you said, I'm the funny guy. And I'm gonna be like,
you realize 20 years from now when me, you, and shout out to like, Bill from this guy has a scene or whatever, we get famous, somebody gonna pull up and be like, do you remember back in 2022?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
No, but I mean not funny, like I mean kill your career shit.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Like they're gonna find something.
Okay.
Oh, I just thought of something that I said today, but they're gonna be like, remember when you said you hate Tom Brady? I'll be like, yeah, nigga, I'll say it now.
But Tom Brady's gonna be like, in 20 years, Tom Brady's gonna be 65.
His ass will still be playing.
He'll still be playing football.
And for all y'all people, all like 2 of y'all out there that are like, man, you said Tom Brady, you didn't feel bad because he got a divorce because he still turned that into a win. He's literally undefeated since the divorce was finalized. Like I said, the world keeps spinning for that guy. Nothing actually happens for him that stays negative.
Why did you make it seem as though you lost feeling in half of your face when you were doing the impression of those fans? What is that?
It just helps with making that voice.
Oh, Salvador Dali face ass.
Salvador
Ooh, deep
Dali.
cut. Do you get it? Ooh, deep cut. Do you get it?
Deep cut. Yeah.
But you get it though?
Yeah, dog. Because now we got bad blood.
I don't think we can solve it. If you look what you've done.
Made a really deep cut.
Hey. What the? What?
That's one of the lines. You made a really deep cut.
Oh, she really says that.
Yes.
I thought you were just saying some shit because
no. That's the only reason I know that is there's this YouTuber Todd in the Shadows who's giving.
I love Todd in the Shadows. He started on the channel.
He did.
Thank God the glasses.
Yeah, he did a video where he talked about that song and how much he hated it. And he mentioned the really deep cut. And so when you said deep cut, get it, I'm like, yeah, because now we got bad blood.
Okay, I thought you were just saying shit to say shit.
Nah.
What's his name? And that's the song where like Kendrick put fucking like 8 bars on there. Kendrick Lamar is.
I don't even remember Kendrick being on that song.
Kendrick Lamar is featured on Bad Blood with Taylor Swift. It might not be every version, but he's definitely featured on Bad Blood with Taylor Swift. And it's a fucking short ass verse. The man spit like 8 bars, if less, which ain't shit. And it was just like I remember I was working somewhere back in like 2015 or so around the time the shit came out. And I was like, Kendrick on there, and it was almost like, why are you even on here? And then my coworker was like, he probably made all money off them 8 bars. I was like, good point.
That just reminded me of, Lennar Young.
Lennar Young.
Black YouTuber, makes sketches and stuff, a la your Caleb Cities and Griffey's and all of those. He's pretty funny.
I know Long Beach Griffey, and I know Caleb City and all that, but I don't know Lennar Young.
Yeah, Lennar Young, he's a black dude that does similar skits and more in the... What?
Does he have like dreads or braids or some shit?
I think now he's got his hair a bit more like that, but yeah, he's dark skinned. I don't know how to describe him.
I may have seen.
You might have. Anyway, Drake apparently recently had an album come out where he had a song
with 21 Savage.
21.
Her Loss.
Yeah. There's Yeah, Lil Young has a video where, because the songs are like, 21, can you do something for me? Do a rich flex for
I've
me,
been hearing about
homie.
this.
21, do your thing. And he's like, do your thing, 21. And then 21 Savage starts rapping in the normal thing. But your thing just talking about like people in the studio not doing that much. It gets to the point, because he just uses the audio from the song. But he's like, 21, do your thing. Do your thing, 21. And it cuts to him supposedly to 21 Savage, and he's just like dancing to the beat. Do your thing, 21. Hold up. And he just keeps fucking dancing in the background. He's like, 21, do your thing. So
Oh, like because 21 didn't do shit yet? Okay.
yeah, he just keeps dancing. He just keeps repeating the line, 21, do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing, 21. Hold up. Just keep saying hold up. I'm like, God damn it. And me not hearing the original song, I'm just like, this can't be that similar to the normal song. Tell me he actually does do something like, oh, he does actually rap. Because I don't listen to a lot of modern day rap. I think I've stated that numerous times. Like, as amazing as Drake's career has been,
His career has been amazing. Whether you like his music or not, his career is amazing.
as amazing as Drake's career has been, I do not go, oh shit, the new Drake album dropped. Let me hear that. That's
And
not,
a lot of people did.
Yeah,
I was not one of those people, but a lot of people did.
Yeah, so I'll hear a Drake song every once in a while where I'm like, all right, that's solid. And I hear a lot more where I'm like I hate that baby song. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry.
Oh,
Baby.
baby.
Shut up.
Drake. Drake is the definition of knowing how to stay relevant.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
That man knows everything to do to stay relevant. That man, he used to rap his ass off when he started. Then he started finding a way to kind of sing on the hooks and rap and do like sing rap shit. Then it transformed into like the trap style, and he transformed with it. And then he made his like songs perfectly like and he's like transformed with the eras. And it's like whether you like his shit or not, who were the two busy? Who were the two biggest music acts right now? Taylor Swift and Drake.
Oh, Taylor Swift's still big too?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if she's had any hits per se on the radio, but she did just drop an album.
Gotcha.
I forget what the fuck it was called.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I used to not like Hot Blind Bling, but listening to like a mashup somebody did with the like We Channel song or some shit for the instrumental, and listening to that version a lot, I'm like, Hotline Bling can stay.
Okay, I'm about to say, what's the name? We used to Hot Blind Bling.
Hotline Bling.
Yeah, when you first said it, you fucking like the words dribbled out of your face. Hot Blind Bling. No, now I remember when Hotline Bling came out and everybody was making fun of
His dancing.
The video. Yeah, he was dancing kind of. It's like, okay. But you know what?
Dance.
But you know what? When you are like #1 like music artist in the world and got millions upon millions in the bank, you can dance how the fuck you want in the video.
He can leave his friends behind, etc. But no, like I said, or it's like I like to tell people, like as I got older, they always say, dance like nobody's watching. Fuck that. Dance like everybody's watching, and they fucking have to, and they can sit there and fucking deal with it. Do whatever the fuck you want. Dance in spite of everybody.
They've been making fun of me at work because one day I just randomly this was funny as shit. I gotta admit this was funny. We in the back cooking, right? So we play music sometimes or whatever. And we playing something, and I just randomly out of nowhere just did a little half-ass little stupid robot, right? And they have, so for people who may or may not know cooking, I don't know if you do or whatever, but to explain it to you or at least the audience, in cooking, not only do you have the cooks making the food, but you have a counter where the food is set up with a heat lamp, and you got somebody called the expo, which is short for expedite. And the expo's job is all the cooks got to do, because you got one person focused on salad, or at least where I work, one person focused on salad and like little shit like that, one person focused on fryer, and one person focused on grilling.
Yeah.
And then that all comes together to make, one plate. So all the cooks got to do is focus on their food so it can just keep coming out. And Expo's job is to basically fit this shit together like a puzzle.
Gotcha.
So if this burger goes with these fries,
Put
I
them on
make
the
the
same
burger
plate.
I make this burger, he makes these fries, the expo puts that together. If this salad is going with, quesadilla, which we
No, I
make.
got you. There's a
Yeah.
game called Overcooked where that strategy can come into play a lot. It's
Oh,
a
that's funny.
co-op game where you literally are cooks in a kitchen trying to make food.
That's funny. But so we play music and shit, and on the other side, like the managers expo where I'm at. So some places they have it where the expo is just whoever's good at it, or your job is to expo. Either way. So the managers expo where I'm at. So the managers on the other side, and I'm cooking, and we playing something, whatever it was. I did out like a little half-ass robot, and the manager's on the other side. And he was like, man, you don't do that shit again. Some. So I did it like even more and like harder and like really got into it and did it fucking stupid. And I look up and my two other coworkers on the fryer and on salad were just staring at me. Oh, like you said, dance like people have to watch. I look at it, but that's what it was funny because I was like, "Oh, don't do it, huh?" And I
Yeah.
looked up and they were just looking at me like, "What in the fuck?"
And then did you keep on like?
I was like, so now every now and then, I just do it. Every now and then because I'm like,
Yeah.
bitch, I don't give a fuck. But this shit was just funny.
Exactly.
It was funny when I looked up and they were just
Yeah.
like,
Omari is one hell of a dancer. Is something no one's ever said about me. Um, and I'm being honest. Just
lead
is
into
what
this
it
is
is.
hilarious.
But there have been times in my adult life, again, things I didn't realize in fucking high school when my self insecurity was at its maximum. Um, but like there was a party where we were at, and after a while, I started just doing something silly like dance wise thing because I was not sober in the least, to put it lightly. But as I was doing it, and I was with Bob the Tomato and others, but we were adults, and eventually, I think Bob started doing it first, and then before it ended up, like I know at one point we were playing the game where you throw cups, or no, flip cup. Where you got two teams, yeah, you got two teams and stuff. Got to flip them and loser drink. And our team started winning, and after a while, that started being like our little victory dance thing that I was doing. And it's something I wouldn't do at all, like sober at that point, just because I didn't know as many people there and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna do like that. But thinking about it, and going back and over analyzing things as I am wont to do, I was like. It was when I cared least that I was able to just. People didn't care because they knew I was having fun. That's where I was like, you know what? That's what's going on. Just have fun.
That's the biggest thing because, okay, not to make this some big old philosophical, esoteric, whatever the fuck shit, but
Esoteric.
facts. If dude would have said, do that again, blah blah blah, and I'd be like, all right, and then try to be cool and not do it, it'd be one thing. But it's like, no, and then the same day I did it, and then one of my coworker on the same side who looked at me like, what the fuck? A little later, he was like, hey Jazz, look.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
When I was just barking along with songs at work at my previous jobs because I was bored, like fucking Beyonce's Baby It's Woo! And doing shit like that. But as time goes and just barking along with songs and people just go, what the hell? Eventually other people started doing it without me starting it. I would just be like minding my business and someone else was just like, they're like, God damn it, Omari, you got me fucking barking. I'm like, the barking is contagious.
That fun energy is contagious. And honestly, at any job, whether it be customer service, whether it be cooking, whatever, any job, if the manager, in that case, you at the time, but if the manager is the main one setting the standard of, yeah, let's have a good time and good energy, then everybody else is like, yeah, let's have a good time. And there you go.
Yeah, well, that's what I tried. I tried to be. I'm not here to be your friend. Doesn't mean I don't want to be. I'm here to make sure you do your job. As long as you're doing your job, we can be friends. I don't care. But there's a time and a place. Clearly, obviously, if there's a line out the door, maybe there's less barking and there's actually working. But
Exactly.
we got everything clean and doing shit. Ooh, fucking chill. I don't care. Just get the job done.
As much as we joke around at work and shit like that, and it's not even just the job I work now, but any kitchen I've worked in, as much as we joke around and play around or whatever, like you said, when it's busy, most of the time it's quiet except for, hey, you got so and so, hey, I need so and so, hey, let's get blah blah blah. You don't be joking too much when it's right. When it's time to work,
Exactly.
it's time to work. And then when it's not, you can play.
Mm-hmm. As
And
long as the work is done. Because I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you cleaned everything? Well, now there's a mess. Clean it up. Oh, I'll find something for you to do. If you're bored, I'll find something for you to do. Like,
Bruh.
I hated that kind of shit. It's like, fucking look busy at least. Like, maybe at least
Bruh.
look busy, but if I know everything's done, I'm not going to sit here and work you to death.
If I worked somewhere and I clean and the manager said, hey, go clean up this area, and I clean that shit and it looked organized and clean and spotless, and the manager said, oh, really? And made a
You ain't
mess,
got nothing to do?
I would quit on the spot.
There's a mess on the floor now, motherfucker.
I would quit on the spot.
You
Like
know,
I,
I'll
I,
mop that shit.
I would like it like, oh, like the manager walks up and says, oh, damn, good job, this is spotless. Goddamn, not now, bitch. I quit. I quit. Fuck this place. What just happened? What are we doing? Oh shit. But whatever we're doing, hopefully what you're doing is you're going ahead and you are finding and following us on our respective socials outside of straight YouTube. So if you would like to find and follow your boy, as we said earlier in the podcast, I am a rapper. I get my MC on from time to time. Dropped my debut solo album last year. So anywhere you stream your music, any platform, you can go ahead and look me up under the name Superjaz. That is spelled Superjaz. Look up the album My Secret Identity. You might have to put in Superjaz, My Secret Identity, because I'm not so famous yet. Also, you can go ahead and find and follow me on Twitter under the handle Superjaz2, which is Superjaz number 2. And of course, you can go ahead and find me on Instagram under the name Forever Superjaz, the word forever spelled correctly. Where might they find you, my man?
Well, y'all know, first of all, y'all can find me here every week, every Wednesday on the Whatever We Want podcast. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube under feogrande. That is Feo Grande. We got other stuff over there. Like I said earlier, I got another podcast on there called This Guy Hasn't Seen with my great friend Bill Smith, El Director himself. Shout outs, you know how it is. I also have some videos over there with this guy as well, reviewing movies and stuff. This Guy Hasn't Seen, by the way, is a podcast where Bill and I trade things back and forth that one guy has seen and the other guy hasn't. We've also had Superjaz on that as well. I'm also on Twitter and Twitch under Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on in, stop on by. And yeah, I've been playing a lot of God of War Ragnarok on there lately, so yeah.
Is it good?
I like it. I told you earlier this year when you leaked me one of those Twitter things like, so far the game of the year is, and you're like, at Giotavi? And I'm like, it's kind of hard to ask me right now for an objective opinion because I'm already telling you, and this is like in May, it's God of War Ragnarok. Whenever it comes out, the game would have to be.
Yeah, you were saying it was going to be.
It would have to be the worst piece of shit ever for me personally, not to have that as my vote. But objectively, it's probably Elden Ring or some shit. Now I haven't finished Ragnarok. It is still my personal game of the year, especially considering I didn't play Elden Ring. But yeah. So right now, it's still game of the year for me.
That's like, I think Ibn loves Uncharted a lot too. I think he really enjoyed it.
Haven't played a single one.
He did not want to watch the movie because he said that the way that they had Tom Holland looking in the trailer made it seem as though he probably did a great job for what he wanted to do, but it didn't seem Nathan Drake-ish. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point.
I don't get Nathan Drake when I see Tom Holland.
I did not watch. I mean, I didn't play the game. I saw the movie. The movie was good for what it was. So
okay.
Yeah. But I can believe that it good for what it was doesn't mean good for Uncharted because that shit does happen.
Yeah.
This is good for what it is, but it's nothing like what it should be. You know.
Right.
Uh, Also, everybody on this exact same channel, whatever we want podcast channel, every first Sunday of the month, we also have a wrestling podcast. Since we can never shut the hell up about wrestling, we did a podcast where all we do is talk about wrestling. So, First Sunday Wrestling is the podcast that we drop every first Sunday of the month where we talk about wrestling and whatnot. And we don't go for just an hour, we go for however long we feel. So, all the wrestling heads out there, or people who just curious with our thoughts on it, go ahead and check that shit out as well. But that being said,
Yeah.
you would think by now I would fucking know 80 something going on 90 some episodes. I fucking apologize, dude. But whether it be about me being a casual fan or, Rams leaving other cities hating St. Louis for whatever reason, sports wise, whether it be about our freestyle abilities or lack thereof, like, ew, whether it be about any of that shit, whether it be about Drake and how popular he is or how popular Taylor Swift is, what the fuck are we gonna talk about next time?
Whatever we want.
I'll give you the other W. Be nice to yourself, everybody.
Adiosness.